Consagra and Mrs. Bhanuben of Consagra.
Moving on to our KPS Lifetime Achievement Award, please can I request Manoj Bhai on stage for the presentation of this award.
जय श्री कृष्ण બધા ઊંઘી ગયા લાગે પાછળ બધા ઊભા છે. Can I ask, this is a very important session, can I ask everybody to observe silence please. આ બાજુ એ ઘણી જગ્યા છે, ત્યાં ઊભા રહી જાઓ, પાછળ જગ્યા ના હોય તો. આજે બપોરે બહુ જ સરસ પ્રોગ્રામ છે and we want to make sure everyone enjoys it. So for sake of other people, please restrain yourself. તમને ઘણી opportunity મળશે વાતો કરવાની. So I'll appreciate if people observe silence during the next session. I thought that if you are going to get Kalpesh here, tell that he will keep you awake for my session. But unfortunately, he wasn't quite ready, so my session has been swapped with him. But having said that, the reason why we have Lifetime Achievement Award is to make sure we recognize a lot of hard work and achievement made by one of our community members. It's a very important and prestigious award, and I think we should all respect that and honor the person who has done so much for our community. Thank you for observing silence. I am now going to introduce someone who was one of the first Karwa Patidars to come to UK. He became a doctor in 1959 and he was one of the founder members of our Samaj, Sri Karwa Patidar Samaj. Please welcome Magan Bhai and Yashamati Ben Adeshna on the stage. Magan Bhai. Okay. Magan Bhai was born in 1931 in Devra, India. He was the son of Popat Bhai Anandji Bhai Adeshna. He went to primary school in Devra. He went to boarding school in Porbandar. And I believe he was the first Karwa Patidar to go to Porbandar school in 1930s. He immigrated to Kampala, Uganda in 1948 at the age of 17 years. He completed his secondary education in Kampala, which was Cambridge certificate grade. After completing his schooling, he went to college, Wilson College in Bombay for about 15 months. Then his father was promised that he will have a medical place in the UK. So he was asked by his father to come to UK, just to find out that that was a false promise. So he had to struggle for a while to get a place in a medical college. He came to London in 1953 in the year of Queen's coronation. He really struggled to get into medical college, but he really kept trying. When I was interviewing him, I can see how many times he visited British Council and other places to make sure he gets in. And it's something we can all learn. Don't give up. Continue trying, and you will succeed in the end. He eventually managed to get into Sheffield University in 1954 and became a doctor, qualified doctor in 1959. He was probably the first Kada Patidar who qualified as a doctor in the UK. Yasomati also came to Cambridge in 1958 to study radiology, where Maganbai first met her. When I was interviewing Maganbai and Yasomati Ben said to me, nothing much happened. They ended up working in the same hospital in Kampala. So they started to know each other. Eventually they got married in 1961 in Jinja, Uganda. Their two daughters, Anita and Hariska, were born in Kampala. He came to UK with a family and he specialized in radiology in Edinburgh, 1964. There are two sons, Kirit and Sanjay, who were born in Edinburgh. They stayed in Scotland for 6.5 years before eventually settling in Coventry in 1969. When you talk to Maganbai in English, sometimes you hear a bit of a Scottish accent. Here is Maganbai and family. He also got a job in Coventry in Warsaw Hospital, and that's the photograph of him working in a hospital in Coventry. He also told me that the hospital was opened in 1970, and since then he has actually spent some time setting up the radiology unit with X-rays and ultrasound, and also in 70s he also had plans to implement MRI scanning, which these days is quite common. But in 1970s it was something quite new. And he actually received an award at the hospital, and this is the photograph of when he received Award. He started doing community work. Once he settled in Coventry, he helped out Ugandan Indians during Exodus in 1972. He received 80 parcels from Kampala, Uganda. Became a committee member of the Working Committee of Samaj, which was formed in 1974. He was first elected president in 1975 of the Samaj until 1982-83. He was the president for 9 years. He also remained committee member and a trustee for many years, and he is still a trustee of the community. You can see the photograph here. I've shown it before. You will see some fresh-looking young men, and some of them are still here, and they're still members of the committee. I'm sure you'll recognize some of them. And Magan Bhai is there in the middle. I asked him about his achievements as a president for 9 years, and he said that as a president and a committee member, they managed to come up with a new constitution in 1974. One of their aims was to encourage unity among our members, hence our emblem, unity is strength. He also spent a lot of time with other committee members to raise funds for this building. It was about 3 years, as I understand, that a lot of committee members did a lot of hard work to raise funds, and today we are having a Diwali function in this wonderful building. The other thing that they wanted to promote was punctuality in community events. And more or less, Karwa Patidar is one of the communities who starts thing on time, all the events, marriages, everything on time and finishes on time. Cleanliness was another thing that they wanted to promote, introduce membership fee, and also they wanted to reduce culture of dowry, although that is not completely eliminated, even in this country. Magan Bhai arranged the first Diwali gathering in 1976. He has a photograph of Magan Bhai and young ladies. He organized this Diwali gathering in Coventry Hotel, and there were 400 or 500 people even then in 1976. So it was a big achievement. He has also done a lot of other community work. He is a member of Rotary Club North Coventry, organized fundraising Indian evenings for Rotary Club, organized eye camp and made donation to Jaipur Fruit. He was also elected a chairman of the North Coventry Rotary Club. He was also an honorary secretary at Vivekanand Center and also a secretary for BMA for 7 years. He also was a trustee at Sri Krishna Mandir for 3 years, member of Lord Leicester Lodge, and held various positions there. After retiring in 1996, he still lives a very active life. He still takes part in all these different voluntary organizations and plays an active part in helping them. All of his children are well educated, and they are all educated in medical field. and they're all settled in the southeast, and he makes a special effort to come and visit them and see the grandchildren. He has got 5 grandchildren. Here's Maganbai and Yasamatiben, one of their Rotary Club events. He is a different contrasting photograph in New Delhi at one of the ovens. I believe Maganbai has done so much for this community. He was one of the founder members, and he truly deserves the Lifetime Achievement Award. So can I ask our current president, Sri Rajendrabhai Changela, to come on stage to present the award. Now I'll ask Dr. Maganbai to say a few words. Thank you, Maganbai.
Thank you very much indeed for the presentation. Bye. I am so pleased to receive this achievement award. I never thought that even in my dream I would receive anything like this. This is a fantastic thing for me. And I thank the President and the Secretary to make such an effort to bring out all the information about me and present it here in front of you. Yes, it was a different thing when we first started the Samaj meeting. In 75, 74, we used to go around different houses and hold the meeting there. President had to arrange previously where the meeting was going to be. And we spent all day there. We have been in Ilford, in Balham, in Streatham, in Cambridge, Coventry, Leicester, and Central London. This is where we used to have our meetings. It was more like a gypsy traveling to different places. We had no one home where we could go every time and sit down and have the committee meeting or have a function like this. For the Diwali functions, we have been to Coventry, Leicester, Ilford swimming pool in fact. And then subsequently, we managed to get the Aerolizer Center, where we had quite a few functions, Diwali functions there. But we always tried to get a place of our own. That was our main aim from the very beginning. We tried a number of places, community halls, church halls, and all those. But nothing really transpired that was up to date for us. We started raising funds individually as well as we went to Kenya. First delegation, 5 of us went to Kenya. But that wasn't enough. For a big hall, we really wanted something good. So we struggled and struggled. Eventually, second delegation had gone and raised money. And then we had the big benefactor. Solai Group. I think that financial help started this smart building. We had Rajini Bai, who was the main creator of this building, and with the help of the architect Satish. They and the committee meetings members at that time started working on this building, and in 3 years this was raised. This was built. In the beginning, when the plot came, Dharmasi Patel, he brought this pamphlet that there is a land available for community use. He showed me first, and then we went around and put it to the committee meeting, and we started working on it. And in the meantime, Rajni Bhai came from Edinburgh, and he took over the process. Rajni Bhai, along with Satish, made this building. There were a lot of competitions. 28 associations were interested in the project, and 3 were selected in the end, and out of which ours was the best plan, and credit goes to Rajni Bhai that this has been successful. And now we have got this magnificent building, as you see, and we can do all the executive committee meetings, all the functions, all the community meetings without any fear or fear. You don't have to wait for anybody, you don't have to ask anybody. So this is the achievement after many years of hard work by various presidents and various committee members, and the help from all of you, because you have contributed either by supporting us or financially. And it was not a small job, because this building was 1.8 million. And luckily, we also succeeded in building the next, making the next dining hall. So we are now absolutely complete. All we need now is something in West Midlands. In Midlands, we already started the Samaj, which is going strong. And it won't be very long before we'll be needing a Samaj building for the, not on a big scale, but on a moderate scale for the West Midlands. In Leicester includes Coventry, Nottingham, Derby, Telford, Loughborough, and all the other places around it. So it will make a good thing for the community to have a second building. Only last week, the function in Leicester was attended by almost 200 people. And it was a very successful event. So I think we ought to start considering something different. So that's the second aim of the Samaj. Thank you very much indeed. I've said enough. Many thanks indeed for